In this week's episode, we're going from this to this. That's right, baby. We've got walls.
The first step is to break down some plywood. These are just 1/2 inch product grade plywood from a big box store, and I am first ripping them to a consistent width, and you can see that I'm struggling with my circular saw at the moment. This was a little tricky to cut because the panel is 8 feet long and the sawhorse that I have are not that long, and trying to get this all to line up didn't work all that well. And much like the roof panels, I just traced the outline from the trim pieces onto this board so that I could make sure that it was a good fit.
Now, just gotta trace this to do that side.
Now we're just copying those dimensions over to the second board. So cut it down to width, and then trace the outline of the piece that I cut off from the first board to get the exact same dimensions on the second board.
Fits like a glove. Now the keen-eyed among you might have noticed that this is blocking the window, and what's the point of having a window if you can't see it? And that's where this comes in. So I got this as part of a kit when I bought the actual side pods, and this is a trim kit. So I need to attach this to the piece that I just cut out and then hollow out this interior, and then it all gets mounted together. But first things first, I gotta put some insulation behind this. All right, so now that I've got insulation in, it says to not do it like right up to the window because this still needs to fit around it, so that's why there's a gap. So I need to put this in, and now it doesn't snap in as well because there's some cushion, but that's good. That means we got insulation in there. But then I need to add this on here and figure out the height that it sits below so I know where to attach it to the panel I just cut out. So since this is the back side, so I'm already flipping it, and this curve is not symmetrical, I ended up writing bottom rear, bottom front, top rear, just so I could help keep things in line. So now I can attach the ring onto this, and as long as I can get that corner, lined up fairly well, because they're curved, I will be able to get all of this hooked up, and then I can do a test fit and just make sure I'm not bumping into anything. This is intimidating. I mean, I knew that there were going to be challenges to building the van, but I thought it would be plumbing and wiring, but this is a finished product. This is raw. I need to attach this without damaging it and make sure it all fits, and then I have to cut out an interior hole. I mean, here we go. Oh yeah, also, these trim rings also have a F and an arrow, so you can kind of keep track of that. Alright, the wind's picked up significantly, so I'm going to go through this as fast as I can. So this is now attached to the wall. And what I need to do is cut out this center part, right? Because that's the whole point. So my plan is I'm going to use the step drill bit to drill a hole in the corners so that I have a rough outline of where everything needs to be. Then I'm going to use the jigsaw to go in and do my best to cut that section out. Then I will come back with this router and a flush trim bit to really get this all nice and dialed in. Never used this before, so a little nervous about that whole process, but I feel like this is better than trying to use this from the very get-go. So at least I can kind of see where I'm going and everything. So that's the rough plan. Because it's windy, I'm just gonna throw this into a video and got the hole cut out. Now I'm just going to rearrange these sawhorses so that this sits on them more evenly, and then we're going to give the flush trim router a first pass. It's easier than I thought.
I kind of wanted to keep the wall panels a bit of a darker color so that the finished kind of wood look inside the window well popped, if you will. And so I chose this color, and it turned out to be a little more mud color than I had intended. So I ended up switching colors and going with more of a black that ended up being the final color. And it turns out that trying to hang these heavy wall panels by yourself while drilling through wood and into metal is quite the challenge. So I'm leaving some of these clips in here just to prove how tough this was. Oddly enough, the most difficult panel to hang was the one without the window cut out, because I was trying to align it both to the rear panel that I had already installed as well as the trim cutouts at the front. And I didn't really have anything I could grip to, kind of like I did with the window panels. So here's me struggling just a little bit more, but I think it was worth it in the end.
This hour. This is a huge milestone, and like, I don't know why, but I was dreading this step because like I'm not a professional woodworker. I don't know how to route. And yet I figured it out. This was monumental. I can't even speak right because I'm like just so pumped about it. This is monumental. This is like, everything is ready to just put in here and assemble, and I've got 2 months to get it all done. We'll see how far I get. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching, and I will see you around the bend.